Like
That
a good ass
fucking.
kicking.
What what was it, Nick? What was the line again?
I said Sean likes women that can beat ass. So he likes a good ass kicking. Ain't that true?
Absolutely. Just fucking put me in a chokehold and just snap my fucking neck off.
Yeah,
That's how I like them.
we know, Sean.
We know.
Welcome
Um,
everybody to this week's fantasy football podcast.
Oh, is this thing on?
Tap tap tap. Is this on? I don't
This
know.
mic is hot.
all right. So Brian, you know that scene in Remember the Titans where the guy runs over to the sideline and points to the coach?
Yes.
That's how I feel about my team in the standings towards your team.
Why? You're
I'm
pointing me
coming
out,
for you. Yeah,
dude. I'm not doing
I've already
anything,
checked out your schedule, and your schedule looks brutal. And
dude.
I'm coming for you.
There's nothing to
I'm
come
sick
for,
of it.
bro.
I'm mad at because you set the schedule and you gave me the bum schedule. I
I
feel
didn't
like that.
set any schedule. It was on fucking random, dude. It's not like I was
Yeah,
picking out.
right.
Yes, I hand picked like, oh, dude, I'm going to fuck Nick's day by fucking doing this and this and this and this. That's the way
Yeah,
I. That's the way I do it, man. Yeah, you called me out. I don't know what to say.
throw me that banana.
No, you're
Wait, so
supposed to
Nick,
throw
are
me the
you
banana.
Yeah,
Nick,
that's true.
you're saying that your schedule for the rest of the last 3 weeks is really hard and Brian's is easy, or
No,
you're
Brian's
saying
is
the
hard.
opposite? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
Brian's is
okay.
hard, and mine gets. I play the. Well, I'm just thinking. I don't mean to put anybody's team down or anything, but the teams I play are not in the
I think
playoff
I think what Nick is
top.
I think what Nick wanted to come onto this podcast to say, and I think he's saying it very, very clearly, is that since I'm the top team right now with the top like record, even though I lost last week, still a top record by myself, that Nick thinks his team is not only better than my team, but better than every single other team in this league. Would I be wrong in thinking that, Nick?
Well, I just gotta say, ever since ever since my trade after
Trade,
week two,
dude, trades. Can
I
we can we can we please put an asterisk on
hold
this?
on.
Because I have some things to say about
I
what
have a
I
lot of
believe is
things to say.
straight up
I've been
collusion,
waiting patiently.
like
I've been
straight up
waiting patiently.
collusion going on in this
So
league, and people are trying to gift you the fucking championship.
after my week two trade, I have been second every single week except twice where I got first and one where Joey blew me out. But if I would have played my guys, I would have got second, but I still would have lost. But so I don't care. But I've been second place every single week and it frustrates me, but in a good way, I guess.
Well, so if you look at the points, like the points against right now for you, is there
Yeah,
anybody higher than you?
just will by 5.
Yeah, it's not by much. Like, dude,
Yeah, that's why I
you
put
should
it.
be kissing the fucking fantasy gods that your record is as good as it is. Like that, it's what 1568. Will is at 1573. Shit, the next closest. Let's see, next closest. So funny enough, Chris and you are kind of like
Chris.
in the same situation where you guys both have been going up against really high scoring teams, but your teams have been also putting up like enough points to kind of like overreach it.
Yeah, we're
Chris,
hanging in there.
yeah, Chris is just yeah, what, one game? Yeah, just one game up, so it's not like all that much. John is kind of the same way. He's a little bit lower, like he's 1523. Yeah, 1568. That is a lot. But dude, you're sitting happy on what 1639 like points total. So I would say like since that week, who was your week two trade?
That was Lamar Jackson
That was
That was
not
the
week.
big.
Was
That was the big.
that was week
That was week
two?
two.
No
after
way
week
that
two.
that couldn't
Yeah,
have been
Oh,
I
week.
had him.
okay. So we between week two and three, essentially.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
had Lamar starting week three.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go to that game.
Okay.
So you ended up going up against Misha. who fucking, yeah, slammed it with Dak, like one of the few great games that Dak had, 40 points.
Yeah, that frustrated me a lot.
Man, really interesting. Dude, there have been some players, I would say there yeah, your team is so interesting. There's a lot to talk about this. Like, so who did you end up starting with? The first player that you, sorry, not the
I
first
scrapped
trade.
my entire team. I
I
only
know
have
you did.
two players that have been playing from when I started, and the other two were Chubb and Brooks, and they've been hurt the entire season.
Well, so
So
you
I
had
only
you
have
had
four
you
players that are still on my team.
so you had Derrick Henry was one of your original draft picks, right?
Yeah, and
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 I'm
Amon
Amon
Ra.
Ra.
Amon
Yeah, Amon
Ra.
Ra. Okay.
Yeah, your team was absolute shit in week one. Holy
Yeah,
crap,
they
your team
sucked.
sucked.
They were terrible. They're awful. They're so bad.
Caleb Williams,
I don't even want to look.
Adunze, Zach Moss, Raheem Mostert. Oof, yeah, that was
It's really
rough.
kind of interesting how those players
Brutal.
like played on out. Like, so because Caleb Williams never came on up. He had some like big games, but for the most part he has been
Cheatered.
horrible. Funny enough,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
had the LeConkey McDonkey though. Man, he's coming
That's
back.
that's the part of fantasy that irks me maybe the most is when you had somebody for like a certain
A
amount of time
moment.
and or you drafted them
Yeah.
like where basically you either committed your draft capital to them or you carried them
Yeah.
on your team for a certain amount of time and then you finally are just like all right, I'm done, and then they end up being like a super valuable piece for somebody else for a while. It's like, oh god.
That's one of the worst frustrations, I gotta say. You don't want to see them do good with with their new girlfriend or whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
dude, I've got one this fucking week. I'm so pissed about it. With I'm playing Chris this week, and
Oh, I can't wait for
I
that.
drafted Javante Williams, so you already know, right? And
Yeah.
I
And you just picked
finally
him up.
gave up on this fucking guy, and then this week Chris picks him up, spends $15 to get him. Nobody else even bid it on him, and then he's throwing him in at his flex spot
Oh, is he
against
actually
me.
putting him in?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was
Yes.
Yeah.
putting him in.
Yep.
He's in there right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's because he's got Chase on bye, Pitts on bye, and Brian Thomas on bye.
Yeah, he
Fuck.
took the the Jalen Warren from the Steelers out from his flex and put Javante in. So
Yeah.
like I got one super good week out of Javante when he scored two touchdowns out of
On
nowhere
Joey's
and he
injured
and
team.
against Joey, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Javante fucked me so many weeks this year. I swear to God, if he goes off this week, like that's one of those players where it's like I will never even look at you ever again after this.
I'm so excited about your matchup and your matchup too, Brian. Your two matchups are the most intriguing
Well,
matchups. I
dude,
can't
Who
wait.
are you playing this week, Brian?
I'm playing Phil.
Oh yeah, that's a biggie too.
Well, I'm also getting hit with not only a bunch of buys, but the possibility of Pacheco coming back.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah, could be a sounds like maybe a little timeshare situation going on there.
Well, so this is the whole reason why when you had asked about, Chase Brown, why it was just like I can't do it because
Yeah.
he what I feel like he is the eventual Hunt replacement because it looks like he's
Well, I hope he scores 3 fucking points when you finally put him in this week.
well he's not going in
Just
he's not going in this week because
oh, he's on
he's
bye.
on
Yeah.
bye exactly. So that's why I'm like kind of fucked. But this is like it's exactly the same situation as when I played Nick that one time when I had like a big chunk of my team on bye. It's like I feel, you know, it is what it is. Like the bye weeks are the bye weeks. Like you can't change it. I don't like the idea of shedding like what do you want to call it? Like important reserves or people that you more or less either had plans on or were just like wanting to hold on to just to try to fill out some sort of like a decent uh you know I like holding on to my players, so I don't really want to drop anybody. I feel like
That's the hard part.
the people I'm putting on in are more or less the bench warmers that they're going to be. I'm hoping Pacheco doesn't end up playing, which right now he's still on IR, so knock on wood, it stays that way for just one more week. Because then Chase Brown comes back the next week, and I'm feeling a lot better. But if not, like, yeah, I'm not feeling positive about this particular week. But it was like the same when I was playing Nick, where it's just like I this is the way my team was like drafted, or in that case, like it was a majority of my starters, like all my Kansas City players. Who else was on by Nick? I think it was
You couldn't
My
you couldn't
Minnesota
even fill
players.
your squad. Yeah, I'll just
Yeah,
go back to it.
it was like Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, uh, Patrick Mahomes, and I want to say that I don't know if I had Kareem Hunt yet. I might have. So it was like
Yeah, yeah,
it
that's
was it was a good chunk of my team, and it's like the exact same thing this week. So I've got Drake London on bye, um, I've got James Cook on bye, and then
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown's on bye, and somebody else was on. Oh well, I actually just dropped him. Uh, Kirk Cousins, who I thought was going to be a capable backup, but he's been way too inconsistent. So I ended up getting somebody even more inconsistent. So we'll see how
I
that.
saw.
The fact
Yeah.
I mean, I was just looking back at Chase Brown as well because he's obviously like a really good starting running back right now on a really high powered offense.
Yeah.
And I saw that Nate drafted him and then dropped him only like maybe a week or two into the season. And
Dude,
you've had him ever since.
bro,
And
okay.
like, what, man, you. Oh, but now I'm actually getting really pissed even more at you right now because you fucking get that guy off waivers. Like, what an amazing pickup right there. And I somehow you snuck Kareem Hunt in there at the right time and got so much juice off
Dude,
him.
I paid for Kareem Hunt. Like that was a I can't remember
Worth it
what it
though.
was. Yeah, it was worth it. But I think I
Let's
dropped like
see.
30 something, like maybe
No,
35.
15.
Wow, I
15
got Kareem
bones.
Hunt for 15.
Yeah.
Jesus, that was a
Dude,
lot.
I
Yeah.
paid more for Carson Steele. Jesus.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
I
Well, dude,
know. That was so
so
confusing.
right now I'm playing Phil this week, right? And if you look at his bench, he's got Chuba.
I know.
And dude, I
I'm
dropped him
surprised by
after
that.
week 1. After that 1.9, I'm just like, fuck this garbage. I don't even want it on my team. Look at the entire rest of the
I know.
season.
He's been so good
It's
ever
like,
since, pretty
dude,
much.
this was such a slap in the face and made me really realize that, like, dude, you cannot panic week 1, like, on your team. Like, I
Yeah.
feel
The
people
fact
just do it
and
all the time.
yeah. And Will or Phil got him just for free,
Yeah,
just off free
I'm
agency. He
sure
didn't
for
pay
free.
anything.
And I'm sure he rode that, like, the whole way. Like, dude, Phil
Oh
has
my
got
God, dude.
Phil.
Fucking
So
nuts.
not only do I have no confidence just because of my own lineup coming into this week, but Phil's got fucking McCaffrey back, Nico Collins back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, his team is, yeah, he absolutely, I think he's trying to will, like, Nick, you say you got your fucking finger pointed towards me, but you have to understand, I've been in this dance before. The buy ain't anything. The buy will help, but it's one of those things where you're gonna have to play your best week no matter what. And it's just like what the fantasy gods decide. Dude, I would not want to face like I don't want to face your team, Nick, because you got a pretty hot team with all those
Oh
pieces
yeah,
that
we're
you put
mad at you.
together. But
Like
no, dude,
we're
I
mad at
wouldn't
you.
want to face Phil's team.
Oh yeah, no, I almost got Nico'd last week. Whew. God, the first play of the game,
Yeah.
Nico for an 80-yard touchdown that got called back. I would have lost instantly.
I saw that report. I
Yeah.
didn't actually see the play, but
Oh my God, it scared the living shit out of me. That
dude,
was my season right there. That changed it.
well, I would say right now with the way things are, here, let me go back over to the league.
Dude, yeah, last week was a very important week for a few people. You included, Nick,
Yeah.
me as well. Like I snuck away with one of the ugliest W's that I absolutely needed just to stay in the playoff contention race.
Dude, didn't
I know.
hold on, let me go back. Let me go back to the results of last week. Didn't fucking where was it? Did I see that correct? Yeah. Dude, Nate and fucking John have been
Oh
literally
yeah.
fucking
Oh
like
yeah.
reservoir dogs to like against each other this season, I feel. Like they have been so like kind of back and forth between the two of them with like being in it, being out of it, being in it, being out of it. Like these guys had a dirty, dirty battle.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
that
nobody
was
said
super
anything in the
close.
chat.
That's true. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't remember how it all came down, but I feel like it came down to the wire.
that's that's super close. I know, like I was watching my game, and it was just like I didn't have very much confidence because God, who was it? Aaron Jones and somebody else just had fucking such porous performances. Um, and all Chris had left was Jamar Chase, and it's just like, well, Chargers, you've never done it for me before, so I don't expect you to do it for me this time, and they certainly didn't. So,
Nope. Yeah.
Damn, I'm surprised. Yeah, nobody was talking in the chat about that matchup because John had CJ Stroud was the Monday
Yeah.
night player going, and he just eked it away at the end.
Yeah.
Like he could have easily lost that one, but holy shit.
Yeah.
damn, damn. Nick, who'd you play last
Yeah.
week? You played Phil. Okay, and so
Yeah.
you eked out. Oh damn. And
Nico
Burrow had like
Collins.
fucking 44. Fuck. Amon Ra saving you big. Starting T Higgins, that was a big one. That's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
a
T
that's gonna be a
Higgins
big
came in
play.
for me.
That's gonna be a big play
Oh,
down the
dude,
line.
yeah.
See, okay,
He looked great. And
this is
Amon. I mean, those are the two that just saved your ass right
They
there.
saved me.
I will say this.
All
I will
it
say
paid
this.
off for me already.
Yeah. So who did you trade for T Higgins?
I traded
Oh,
uh-huh.
the Green
What's
Bay
his name? I
receiver.
can't think of his name right now.
Not is it?
Jalen?
No.
Jalen Reed?
Oh, Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it
I
just it was
traded
a
him.
1-for-1, or was there anything
Yeah,
else involved?
and I got $5.
And you got
So
$5.
you got T
Well,
Higgins.
okay.
So you
Because
got
Chris
T
is
Higgins,
claiming.
Chris wanted
$5.
him weeks prior. He asked he was going to trade me. He sent in a Chubb request for T Higgins way back when because he had Jamar Chase also, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he was trying to deal him from the start. And then I was like, nah, I waited. And
Interesting.
then he wanted Jalen Reed after because Chubb was kind of dicey. And that was still like 2 weeks ahead earlier. So like I from our deal. So then a couple weeks later I was like, guys, it's still on the table. So he initiated it
Okay,
basically.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
thought
Jaden
about
Reed had a good week 9. I think if that was the first week that the trade went down, or was it on the bye week of week 10? I
yeah,
can't remember now.
I think it was week 9 because
Yeah,
Higgins has been injured for me for a
right. So that
while.
this was your first week finally getting him back, and you're obviously super stoked. Jaden Reed had
Yeah,
21 in that first game, so that's
yeah.
pretty good. And then the bye, and then just 10 last week. So certainly right now, it looks like you've been just trade raping this year so far.
Well,
Well,
thank
dude,
you.
I would say that like the one that absolutely blows my mind, and I can't give any pass on this one. Nate, I'm looking you square in the eye. Brees Hall for fucking Lamar Jackson and Zay was that what it was? And Zay Flowers?
Yeah, and at the time I took a lot of
Yeah.
flack from a
Who
lot of
is
people.
Yeah.
giving you
Like
slack for that? That is the
Dude, no, come on. We got
most
to keep it real
over.
here.
I I'm keeping it
I even
real.
on the podcast, this
it
is
was,
on
All
recording.
right, let's go.
yeah.
I need to
We
go
were
back. I need
both
to go back to
saying,
that.
wow, is Nick selling the farm this early already? I remember we were talking
One of the
shit.
best
Brees, yeah,
backups in the league.
it's. But I'm pretty sure I had even said it on the podcast then that I thought that that was a very one-sided trade.
I
I don't think Brees Hall is anywhere close. Like even back then, Lamar Jackson. Like if we were to go to Lamar's numbers, what was it? What did you say? You said it was after week 2, right?
yeah.
Let's see, what were Lamar's numbers those first 2 weeks? Dude, his first 2 weeks was 41 and 25. Now it was
He,
So I mean,
sitting
Kyle
on
Allen.
it
a
was sitting
great
on
week and kind of a middling low average week.
middling week. No, I'm worried sometimes that Pat Mahomes would even put up 19 points middling week. What are you talking about? 25. If that's
Well,
Lamar's
I think
lowest, that's Lamar's.
30 is more of the bar of like I would say like a good week
I
in
actually
our
thought
league for a
25 was going to be
quarterback.
his lowest total, but
It
it's
was
actually
last week.
it's last week. You're right. It was against Pitt. And fuck, he has another game against Pitt, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
but
in the
then
playoffs.
oh
that one's at home, so that'll help.
man, this is an interesting
Mm,
schedule. Chargers, Philly. Oh fuck, you have a bye week 14?
I
that's
know,
so
yeah.
late. God dang.
It's his
Shit, that
first
is
bye.
I cannot believe that the NFL is doing bye weeks that late.
Wait, who are you playing in week 14? Please be me. Please be me.
It's Chris.
Damn it.
I know. I've
Yeah,
already looked
anyways.
through my
Wait,
schedule.
Nick,
Yeah.
wait, do you and I not play again?
No, yeah, we're done.
What? Oh, all right, well fine. Um, wait, Sean, so Nick, so you've got what, Misha this week, right?
Yeah, and then Will
And then
for
Will,
Thanksgiving.
and then
Ooh, I
who do you
gotta
have?
say,
And then
Will
Chris.
and then
Dude,
Chris.
I don't
But
like that.
Will's
I
team
don't.
is looking
Yeah,
good right now.
Yeah, his
And I
team's
was gonna.
coming on.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
the exact same thing. And actually, are we going to
He
say
got
that
top
it's
scorer too.
is it
Yeah.
absolutely impossible with 3 games left?
I
He's got to pick up the points,
At the point,
basically.
so that's what we're talking about. It's the
oof.
points at this point,
Sean,
right?
yeah, Sean, one of us has to keep losing. Like 6 would be his max.
How far? So wait. So who? So obviously Nick of the six
Yeah.
and fives is the highest. Sean, you're the lowest at what?
I'm the
Oh,
lowest, I
okay,
believe.
1505. So how off is what is that? 1427?
He's about 60, 70 points off or so,
I think
65.
it's probably unrealistic for Joey. 1375 seems like that's still
Yeah, I
behind
think
150
Joey's
or
probably done.
1500. Yeah, that seems like it's
Like it would be
too
it would be
much.
a miracle. I think there might be too many hoops to jump through to get that one. But yeah, I guess yeah, if I lose the next three and it's bad, which is possible, and then Will's team goes on a heater and wins his next three, like he's on the bubble. If I bet it depends what Misha does, it depends what Nate does. Like there's a
But
Yeah.
lot. Like
the
you need a
interest
lot of people to lose.
right, but the interesting thing is that they're all really close together. Like those two, or sorry, Nate, Misha, and Will are really close in points.
Yeah. But so that's where like the W's are so fucking
Yeah,
important right now. Like
huge.
even getting one could be the difference between fighting off, somebody down below who's like going on a heater right now.
So do you think in both I'll throw this out to both of you. Do you guys think we've had as competitive of a year as this year? Like where all the way down to place 9 there could be a theoretic possibility of still making the playoffs?
I guess
I don't know.
that's one way to look at it. I think yeah, another way to look at it is like I don't know if it's just recency bias. It's always competitive every year, but I feel like waivers have been tough this year. Like there's just a lot of action on the waivers, and it's not
Yeah.
you're not getting a lot of guys for cheap. Like
Do,
everybody's all the
do you
hot
think
targets are like are being
are
fought for.
so do you think that's because of the fab?
I don't know. That's a good question. What do you mean by that? Like just because
So
what do you think that does?
because honestly I believe what we used to have, so you take the fab out of it, right? What we used to have is we have the what do we want to call it? The waiver priority, right?
It was like the snake waiver priority,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So that's basically what everybody was like more or less sitting on is where was your priority and how badly did you want this player? If you wanted the player, you had to remember to put it in. And if you had the top priority, there was like an absolute guarantee that this one person is going to get this player. But we don't have that anymore because now it's like whoever's putting up the biggest bucks
That's
is
true.
getting
I
that
guess that
player.
will theoretically drive up more bids, more action because
Yeah,
like you
because
never know, you might get lucky, you
right,
just
because
don't know what anyone else is going to do.
I feel we had plenty of times where when we were dealing with the waiver snake order that people would be sitting on those picks. Like they'd just be sitting on it
Yeah.
like the entire year, right? And like you'd never know if this week is the one week where, oh fuck, here's this one absolute juice player. It's gonna get all starting playing time. I'm gonna get him. And then this one guy who's been sitting on the number one claim, who's never used it all year, just decides to use it. Not
Yeah.
even to start him, but
Well,
just for the
so
fuck
if
of it.
if you look at how much fab money everyone has, most people are in like I'd say at least half the people are in like the 30s or below. And then there's some people in like the 60s and stuff.
Where can
So
you see
that
where
there's
where can you
it's
see
just
that
in
with the
the if you go to the
I see the standings.
standings,
I see it. Yep. Yep,
but
okay.
then John at $94, I cannot believe. I would love to ask him about that. Like,
Can we actually
how have you only spent $6 this whole
well,
fucking year?
I would
I have
like to
four
Yeah.
dollars left
I would
or
like to look
$3.
to see if there would be some sort of a way where we could filter uh, each manager's free agency moves. Because I would love to see how active he has been. Because I think he's been pretty active as far as um,
I'm looking at I'm looking at
bids,
his starting
but
lineup right
maybe he's just
now.
been beat all the time as far as the
So I think what else though, his main players that he's playing now are still the people that he drafted. Like
Yeah. That
he
makes
has
sense too.
not gotten crushed by the injury bug.
well, he had a really solid draft.
I
And
don't
not
want
only
to
Yeah.
say
that,
that.
but like I would say a player that was like a bench player has now become like a main starter. Like you got DeAndre Hopkins, like J.K. Dobbins also not really was intended to be a starter, but now is like a starter. He still has Garrett Wilson. I mean, dude, his team is
Yeah,
yeah.
it
Cortland
is. Yeah,
Sutton's
it's heavy.
having a decent year.
That one pisses me off too. I shouldn't have. I fucking drafted that guy, had him for a while, and then fucking let him go. And now
Well,
he's like a week in, week out. He's doing super well.
well, so this is dude. Denver is looking surprisingly good, which is
Yeah.
something I did not expect for this year.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I dropped Cortland Sutton pretty early, so never mind. I didn't keep him that long.
Well, it still hurts.
It does.
You
It
see the
does.
pretty girl that had one thing with, and she looks so much better on over with somebody else, and you're just like, God damn.
With
Exactly.
your friends
When
too.
I see Cortland Sutton kissing John on the lips, I do get a little jealous.
Yeah, yeah.
Or do you get jealous when somebody pantses your player on the field?
It depends, what kind of hog that
Who
they
was
have.
that who got pants? Like that. I saw that
Dude,
clip. Was that
Big
Derrick
T
Henry?
Henry.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's huge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That just makes me think of, did you guys see the Mike Tyson clip on Friday where he's like
Yeah,
being
what the fuck was
interviewed
that? What
pre-fight
was
and then
that?
he turns to walk away and he's only wearing a jock strap and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
there's his bare ass right
They
there.
had to
No, I
show
did not.
that.
I did not see that fucking
What?
clip. Are you serious? Oh man, that sounds
Dude.
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was the best part
Yeah.
about that fucking shitty fight that he was in.
Yeah, that was a
I didn't
terrible
even
fight.
try to tune in to watch. I
Yeah,
just
you
did.
didn't. You're lucky.
I didn't think. I mean, come on, dude. How old is Mike Tyson?
58.
Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I don't care if you were the scariest motherfucker. What is that? You guys ever see that one Eddie Murphy movie? The what is it? Coming to America, where
Yeah.
there's like the barber shop and like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall are playing all the different people in the shop. And they're basically just arguing about fucking old like boxers, like oh such and such would beat his ass or such and such would beat his ass. Oh no, he's old as shit. That's why he lost. I don't know.
They called it.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like they even brought up Mike Tyson's name. Maybe. Man, I don't know. I think I need another fucking bowl. Okay,
Time to re-up.
re-up exactly. Okay, this has been a very free fire kind of podcast. I feel right now is like
Yeah.
there's not necessarily been any particular like set topic. So I feel what I need.
I thought this was the mic check. We were just checking the levels.
We are still checking the levels.
Mm.
So I don't know if we'll get an actual podcast in. We'll see. Um, but I was gonna say, is there? I don't know. I'm gonna go get a bolski ready and maybe grab myself a drink. I don't know if anybody would want to.
Can we take like a 3-minute pause? I know this is like absolutely a poo-pooed idea
I'll
in a
just
live
I'll just
podcast,
speak
but
myself
I
for
don't know
three
if I can
minutes.
technically pause it because I can't
well, no,
upload.
not to
Yeah,
pause it,
let's
but
not.
like
Don't risk
if we
it. Don't
just
risk
if we just say everybody just fast forward 3 minutes right
We
now,
could,
and
If they want, I'll talk for
absolutely.
3 minutes.
So you
You
know
guys
what?
do your thing.
Yeah, Nick can
I'll just
talk. I
talk.
I
Okay,
want to
Yeah.
go freshen my drink up, and I got to run into the house real quick.
What are you
yeah.
drinking? Where are
Oh,
you live? Where are you? You're not in the house?
I'm in the
where
middle
are
of the
you? God
street.
damn it!
You know, dude, Nick, you've been to my house. You know I have that backyard office slash drum room, so this is where I do my podcasts.
Oh my God, Texas
But
Chainsaw Massacre.
dude, no, this is such a sick little room. But
It is, yeah.
I gotta run back to the main house, the master's quarters, to go.
Okay.
That's where all the beverages are.
Dude, can't be taking the master's fucking
Well,
drink.
I have my earbuds in, so technically I'll still be here, but I'm gonna fucking
Well, I'm
walk
still
over to
gonna
the
have.
house
I'm
right
gonna
now.
still have my headphone on. I'm just gonna be kind of cutting in, cutting out, and then everybody's gonna hear my grind to grind. Well, that sounds like sucking dick. That's not
Are
what
you
I'm doing.
like dancing in your house right now?
Yeah, you're just smoking a bowl, right? I'll just talk while you're smoking.
Well, I need to get myself something to drink too. So, yeah, both of those things. So, Nick, well, just talk. What do you want to talk about?
I'll entertain the guy. Yeah,
Uh,
I'll entertain everybody.
okay, everybody. This is a commercial break brought to you by our sponsor.
Oh, I get to finally do a commercial ad?
Yeah,
Finally.
do it.
I wanted to. Okay.
You're up.
All right. So now our sponsor is coming on, and we have a free sponsor from Staples. And it's called Diapers for Diamonds.
Jesus,
So
try not to get us sued.
so this is a new lab-made diaper that babies are using to put around their bottoms as diapers. So you have to wrap it instead of putting the baby down on his backside, you put them front side so they have trouble breathing on the front of their pillow, and you wrap them and you strap them from the back. And then after you put their diaper for diamonds on their pants, on their bottoms, then you flip them around and they'll probably be crying. So what you got to do is you got to lick your index finger, and while they're crying, you just roll it around their mouth, and then you stick it right up in their diaper. and, and
Bro, I mean, when I said
that way
I
they'll
didn't
be
want you to
quiet.
get us sued, I think maybe I should have been more clear. Like, I don't want you to get us fucking like arrested or
Don't
fucking like shut
If
down.
that went on for another 1 to 2 minutes, I am scared to know where that would have gone.
nobody tell my girlfriend this method. This
Bro,
will drive all
She's
MILFs
she's our
insane.
most active
This this
listener.
this will drive MILFs crazy. This one simple trick. So just be careful.
Excuse me, MILF. Can I see your baby? I have to show you something.
Yeah. Lick that your index finger, stick it in their mouth, and stick it in their diamond diaper.
And then you just walk away. And she's like, "Who was that attractive man?"
Exactly. And that's how I got her. That's how we met.
so I don't understand why
Nice.
this is brought to you by
Classic story.
why it's brought to you by Staples.
Yeah, this is where you get the diapers at
Why would
Staples.
Staples sell diapers? That's office supplies.
It's it. Yeah, it's in the back room. They've had some new management.
I see. Never
Yeah.
going to Staples again.
So I see that you got her back. That was a quick ad.
Well, I'm still doing my thing. I mean, like I said, I was gonna have my
Yeah.
headset, but
Thanks to our sponsors,
yeah, God,
diaper babies.
diaper diamond fucking
Now featured in Staples.
for some reason.
Trying to get into Office Depot, but they're not returning our calls.
Can't imagine why. Well, so Nick, or
Uh-huh.
Sean, or anybody, so what to talk about now at this point? Now how many weeks do we have left? We have
Okay.
three actual weeks, right?
Yeah, we've
Oh,
got three weeks, and I'm just gonna pull the standings back up again. Like, I mean, everybody I mean, we talked about Joey at the bottom being like an absolute like miracle Hail Mary situation,
Probably.
but
I mean, the 200-point game, multiple games, and everybody
mhm,
basically loses in front of him.
yeah, that's going to be probably a tough mountain to climb. But like everybody's got a lot to play for. Obviously,
Hmm.
Brian, you're at the top. Like you getting a loss last week. I mean, I was thinking last week. I'm like, fuck, man. If Brian gets another win and if he was 9-2, you'd probably have that asterisk of like a playoff
I
spot
think
locked up.
at that
And
point in
Yeah,
time, yeah, I would have. But
yeah,
that's the thing is like I will say this. I personally believe this is me being kind of crazy. This is there's no actual evidence of this at all. I personally believe that the first buy the number one overall buy spot, I think that spot's cursed.
ooh,
yeah.
I think
You
it's
don't
straight up.
want it.
I feel like you've
I think
had
it's
it a
straight up.
couple times, right, Brian?
I don't think it's taken.
No,
I don't
I
think
had
it's
it
taken.
last year.
Oh,
I know
okay.
you had it
Oh
last year, Nick,
yeah. Oh yeah.
but I don't think I know I've had it before, but I don't think if I had it that I was able to take that all the way to the championship. Like I can't remember this last year. I don't even know where I was placed. I think I was like in maybe like
Second,
5 or 6. No, I wasn't second, was I?
yeah,
I was the second buy.
yeah. You were
Okay,
second place, I
That
think.
does
then
sound right. That does
okay,
sound
then
And
right.
I was pissed because I wanted that bracket.
that was I think up
Oh.
against who? Nate and Misha.
No, Nate played me, and he
Oh,
beat
okay.
me with McCaffrey.
Oh, that's right. I had to play Nate for the championship. That's right.
Yeah, Nate beat somebody to get there though. I can't remember who it was.
Hmm.
I think no, Misha beat me in the first round.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure last year.
So then Brian, then you played Misha and you met Nate in the championship.
That's right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have this thing
cursed.
where I believe that first spot is cursed. And I think I feel I see it in the actual NFL too. Like I don't know. Like there's not like there are so many like what was Kansas City number 1 last year or were they like coming in as a wild like they won the division, but I don't think they were the number 1
I think
seed.
Baltimore was one.
I think you're right. I think Baltimore was one. Like that's where I feel it's like it's cursed in the NFL. Like Baltimore, like will be have the fucking most amazing season. Lamar Jackson will be MVP. They still can't fucking make it like one game in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been annoying me.
Dude, it's I feel this is a common occurrence. Like so for me personally, I don't think the buys are so like important. I just want
So you
to
don't want it. You don't want to buy,
it's
is what you're saying.
it's not that I don't want a buy. That first thing I do believe is cursed. So while it is a good accomplishment to have like you were the best team all season, I feel like there is the possible axe that's coming right around the corner that is going to swipe you off that glory throne like really quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
that's interesting. Yeah, if there is like some evidence to substantiate that like kind of happens at a irregular
I
clip, but
I
like I'm just always like, man, if you get a buy, all you have to do is
yeah,
win
Win
you
one
win
one
game.
one
game,
game. Yeah,
and you're basically guaranteed your money back at the
yeah.
very worst in the league. Like that's a cool spot to be in,
Oh,
but
you're beyond.
you want to win. You want to win the whole fucking thing,
Yeah,
obviously.
yes, you do. You do. But even still, I think if you lose, so wait. So it's let me get this straight as far as the placements are concerned. Obviously, 1 and 2 is the two people in the title game. But 3, that game is that the first game that's decided like that so let me look at a playoff structure. Okay, so
If you get a
round
bye, then you have a chance to get your money back, even if you lose the first game.
That's true. You can
yes,
still,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you have to win
so
that next
because
you need to
you're
win that next
guaranteed to
game,
go
right?
to the semis. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I like that about it because at least
you have
you're
two
not going to lose any
chances to
money. You have two chances,
still get
yeah,
some money back.
to not pay.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Huh.
we should really up these amounts though next year. Make it real juicy, like a
What amounts?
oof.
You mean the
The
buy-ins?
buy-ins, yeah.
We
You
just
make
upped it.
We yeah, we did up
We
it this
just
we
year
upped
upped
it
to
and
it
we had a whole
150.
fucking
$50,
fit like
right?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
still, that means I think first place gets like
You know how much
850 or
Grubhub
something
is
like
these
that.
days? Yeah,
dude,
but
we live
still,
in Dude, this is a fantasy football league in California. It's Killa Cali. Dude, the Cali
we have higher
prices are
taxes.
killing,
Well,
yeah, all of
that's why
us.
I felt like we had to up it from 100 because it was like first place would get like 475 or
Yeah, no,
450, and it's
that's
like
all it is. It's not very
that
much.
used to be a lot of money like 8 years ago, but now it's not that much, unfortunately.
No, it's not. Pennies. Dude,
Not
what
with
about
these fucking
isn't
diamond
dude,
diaper costs out
dude,
here.
yeah, seriously, we got to
Yeah,
sponsor like Diamond Diapers. We got to be up in
yeah.
these fucking buy-ins.
Do
I
you know how
don't,
much diapers cost at Costco? They're
bro,
fucking
I don't,
$55.
bro, I
And then they just shit in them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But okay, so bringing it back, there's only a 2 game difference between first place and sixth place right now, and there's
it's
3
huge.
games left
Yeah,
in the season. So I mean,
yeah.
odds are, Brian, you will should likely be fairly high up still, but anything can happen over the next 3 weeks, and
I don't think
it could really shake things up. You've been sitting in first for several weeks now. I remember
it's
Phil
been
was in first for a little while.
it's been a back and forth. Like I feel like I've been mostly in first, but there's been times where I've dropped, I think down like all the way to like 4 or 5. Um,
Oh, okay.
because the points were where it
Yeah.
was. Like I feel Chris, Phil, John have been the big high scorers. Nick eventually started coming on. Like, what do you want to say? Like week 3, 4, maybe 4 is probably when you feel like we saw those big scores.
Yeah, yeah. I started to get who my actual team members were
Yeah,
at that point.
yeah. Week 4 is that one where you had 173.
Yeah.
That's where it started going off pretty
Once I,
good.
s-
Hmm.
yeah, once I got Cade Otten, and that kind of helped
Oh yeah,
cement
that's a nice
things.
pickup. Yeah, both of you guys have had some pretty nice, whether it's a waiver pickup
Yeah,
or a trade, obviously situation. Like that's you guys have like boosted up your teams pretty nice with some good pickups there.
So Sean, you don't feel that you have any great pickup, or I don't feel like have you actually made a trade this year?
Well, I did a fab for um that
yeah. You
Travis
bought
Etienne
somebody.
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I
I
forget about
mean,
that.
that could be nothing. I'm just like, it's been the same situation where my RB2 has been a black hole, and I just can never find. I actually may have found my RB2. We'll see. I mean, I can't jinx it now, but Bucky Irving has looked serviceable, and
Hmm.
when Kamara kind of gets back in, like that's the thing with my team is I don't even know if I've had a single week where all of like the main guys are in and available, whether it's injuries or bye weeks. Like I haven't even
Yeah.
seen what my team looks like when it's actually at full force. So I'm kind of hoping that that still happens here over the next couple weeks.
So who do you have this week? You have Chris this week.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I
This
mean,
is the
Chris is
fun
thankfully,
matchup of the week.
dude.
yeah,
So
it's a big matchup. It's an interesting one too. I mean, I'm very happy. Obviously, he has Jamar Chase
yeah, on
on a
bye.
bye.
Yeah, that's big.
That's
But he also
huge.
but he's got neighbors back. He's got Jonathan Taylor back. Like that's gonna be
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Tommy Cutlets DeVito is going to be the quarterback throwing to Malik
Hey,
Neighbors. So
hey,
I don't know
yeah,
what the, I don't know
yeah,
yeah,
what
that's
the,
right.
yeah.
that could still be. I mean, Malik is still amazing, and he could get peppered with passes. But the interesting part is that he's got Baker, who's obviously been awesome,
Hmm.
but Mike Evans looks like he'll be back. All signs are pointing to him being back this week.
So that'd be
And
big.
Bucky Irving too, if he gets a couple little dump offs or something.
It's
So
gonna be a big game.
hoping that I could chip
That Ta-
away at some of the Baker right there.
that Tampa game is gonna be a big one for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, that one's big.
Because he's going up against the Giants, so he's got neighbors going in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got no Camara this week, which is a bummer, obviously.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize you're also starting Tampa Bay's defense. Holy shit, that's a big game.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tampa Bay D, shit, that's right. And then he's got Javante Williams. But I
Yeah.
guess okay, the original question was like, have I picked up anybody that's been, really helpful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no, not really. I would say right
Juwan
now,
Jennings.
Jawan, no, yeah, but I've only had him for I think 1 week, and then he had a bye the other week. I think I've really only had him like actually last week. That might have been the first or second week I've ever like
And
gotten
Mooney.
something from him.
Yeah, I
Did
feel like
I?
Mooney has been
Oh,
pretty
Mooney.
okay.
big.
Yeah,
And then what
Mooney.
about Jamison Williams? Like I know he's like he missed some time, right?
You draft him?
I drafted him, yeah, but I think I've played him a couple times, and I think I've hit once or twice, but I've also busted once or twice. That's kind of
Mm,
the player that he is.
yeah,
So
but
I
man,
don't feel like he
when he hits though,
like
man, he
I didn't
hits.
play him last week and he went off. Like it's
So
just such a
I got a
hard guy to figure out.
question for you, Sean. Are these
Yeah.
four guys that you have in your lineup right now? Are these your main cutlets? Well, let's use that word. So Brown, Metcalf, Jennings, and Evans, are those the guys, or is Mooney
Yeah.
up in here?
I think Jawan Jennings has overtaken Mooney as like until we see otherwise, I feel way more confident about Juwan Jennings right now.
Okay, so this is my follow-up question. What do you think about a Mooney for Chubb?
That's interesting.
You don't have
Dude, all
to
right,
fit it. You don't have to tell me by the end
I'm
of
not
this
gonna sit
podcast.
and, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna. You guys might as well just talk about
That's what we
this
did
like
last year, though, right?
off the podcast because this is insane. Like the amount of fucking how badly this league, the entirety of this league. I've not traded with Nick, so I can say that I am innocent in this. But dude, how
I
badly this league wants you to win. Like that they are all just giving you these fucking I can't
in my
T Higgins
defense,
No,
like
okay,
that
these
T
nobody's
people
Higgins.
giving. I'm
they
not
they
giving him anything,
they,
but
they
I
reached out
think
to me,
I
and
know
I
this.
ha-
I
and
see
I
that, dude. Nick, that's why I'm not blaming you, and I'm not saying that
thank you,
you are cheating. I am saying
thank
that
you.
the entirety of the league is conspiring to hand you the championship, and if they don't realize it, then everybody needs to get their fucking heads out of their
Maybe
asses and stop making these fucking ridiculous trades.
they want to see change in this country.
I
The
guess, yeah,
tyrant,
no,
that's the
you
thing.
do
It's
not.
their wave.
Do not do that.
the
Uh,
tyrant, the silent tyrant who changes the rules after the draft. Maybe they're sick of it.
I don't
The
think so.
mandate vaccinations thing,
no,
Meg. It's
Nick.
true.
Nick knows in this little on air trade proposition. Like it's no surprise how fucking desperate I have been to try and find some running back help.
And I
So
will
I
say
feel like Nick, you're
it's
trying
not
to
a yeah
kick me when I'm down right now, and I'm
I'm
like,
targeting you. Yeah,
that
I've already
sounds
yes.
thought about
interesting.
this.
So I will
I
say this. I will say
for the
this.
podcast.
In reality, taking away that silly point that I was making, it's not a bad trade on the surface, right? Specifically for the reason that you just said, Sean, because you are and have been in dire like need of that. What do we want to call it? Number two running back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and Darnell Mooney is not somebody that's immediately going to go into Nick's starting lineup over any particular person that I can think of, like right off the
I need
top of my head.
week 14 to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's what I'm thinking,
Right.
right?
It's like
Yeah,
it could be a helpful
it's
fill
yeah.
in.
Where
Yeah,
I have a problem is when it's something like passing him a just like an absolute for sure starter for almost nothing. Like the Brees
what?
Hall, okay, maybe I'm just not a big believer in Brees Hall, but I don't feel Brees Hall is worth Lamar Jackson by himself. I don't think Brees is worth like a 1-for-1. I don't think that's an
I just
even
think
Well,
thing.
at the
that's
time
not how
of
the
like
draft was, though.
week two, week three, I don't think we really understood quite yet how powerful quarterbacks were going to be in our league to the point that we do
I
now, where
did.
it's like they're
I did.
maybe we did,
I
but
said I said in the chat, I need somebody that can get me a 50 burger due to Brian's laws or his rules.
What
That the tyrant
laws,
man.
dude? What laws and rules?
because people were jumping on you of like, oh wow, like you're selling the fucking farm already. Like people were
Yeah.
jumping on Nick for like
John said it
making
too.
a
Like,
stupid trade. I just remember that being the sentiment, and like that the first reaction was people getting on Nick for like making a really bad decision of like, you're going to trade your number one overall draft pick
I'm not going to
for
say any
a
names
quarterback, and then who
more
the
than I
fuck is
did,
Zay
but
Flat? Like, I think you
Wait.
got.
Hold on. There's only one name that I need you to say. Did I say anything like that to you?
you said it on the podcast.
What did I say? What did I say on the
Agree.
podcast specifically? That I said that you were selling the farm because we're not just talking about Brees Hall.
Yeah,
You were giving up everybody week 2. Like you were, quote unquote, selling the farm, right? It wasn't just Brees Hall, or sorry, it wasn't just Brees Hall that was coming off. You were putting up, who was it? I don't think you were putting up Jonathan Brooks, but you were putting up other players.
Oh
Like
yeah, you were putting up so many fucking people on the trade
that's
block.
what I feel we're
I had to
that's
get
what
rid of
I
my
feel we're
team. My
talking
team
about
was bad.
Yeah,
is you
Jordan
give
Love.
yeah. I feel like giving you smack is the not for the
You
actual trade that you made. It's for the fact that after how like 1 week or
There
whatever.
was an agreement that the backs were at a premium, and I was already selling like one of the best backs in the league,
I
and
just
so
I'm gonna go back.
for
So now that we know what the week is, we can all do this homework together. We can all go back
no
to
one's
week
gonna do
3.
homework.
Yeah, week 3 podcast. You listen to the whole
Brian, I think it
hour and how
was. I
many.
feel like it was the podcast where it was Thursday Night Football and James Cook scored 3 touchdowns. Like I almost feel like it was that same podcast.
Fuck. Well, that's gonna give me even more
But
homework
yeah,
to look at that one on up, but I will
the
find it.
dates will tell the story.
They will.
But
They
yeah,
always tell the story. But even still, um, I don't think like getting back to because we're getting too sidetracked. It's that the Chubb for Mooney trade I don't think is terrible, but at the same time it's like does so other than Kamara, which is Kamara on bye this week.
yeah, he's on bye this week. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Kamara, Irving, and then who else?
And then I have Travis Etienne,
Okay.
and then it's
Acres.
just been this weird rotation of scrubs. Right now it's Cam Akers, but I also then picked up Roshan Johnson. It's just like
Mm,
it's the warm body situation. Like I
mm.
need somebody to be my RB2 this week, and it's either going to be Cam Akers or Roshan Johnson. Like that's not a good situation to be in when you're
So
like
so here's a
on the
question.
bubble.
So here's a question. Does Chubb, if you have Chubb, does he go above Bucky Irving?
I
No,
don't
no,
think
because
so.
right now Bucky Irving's my RB1 this week.
Okay, so let's say just not this. Well, are we talking about a trade to happen before like tomorrow? Because
That's a good question. I feel like Nick, you need this. You would want this trade for like you said, week 14.
Yeah,
If I
give
was
it
to
to
do
me
it, if I was to
immediately.
do this trade, which I don't even really honestly know if I
Chubb's
would,
gonna score three
I
tomorrow
would
morning.
have to have it this week because next week I have Bucky and Kamara back, and like I don't necessarily need Kareem Hunt like I do right at this
well,
moment
so
either, or
Sean,
not
do you
Kareem Hunt.
Oh,
so
so you would put Chubb in for Acres right now?
right now?
Exactly. Like I'd
Okay.
rather put Chubb in for Acres if
Okay,
that
that
was the
I
case.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what we're talking about. But here's the question, because I don't know if we can legitimately put up a trade to have people approve in like a day. That does sound like it's a little bit of
You got a full
using
day.
Well,
fantasy.
The Thursday trades usually go through Sunday morning, but I
Uh,
don't even know if this is a trade. Now we're just, we're kind
Now
of
we're just talking. Okay, but
yeah.
even still, okay. So it's up to you guys. You guys do what you want to do, and people are just going to come and yell at me. So it's the way. This is the way it works.
You're the tyrant. Last time it took you what, like 2 days to push that trade through, and there was like so
Which
many people waiting for that trade.
which trade?
The warm body trade.
What more?
Oh,
Wait.
the Phil
Is
trade,
that
Yeah,
what we're
Phil and
calling
me
it?
trade.
yeah.
The warm body
I
trade?
was like, please, I gotta step my lineup. I have too many people, and you are nowhere to be found.
Dude, wait, Sean, was that the day that I was like working or doing something? I feel like somebody had texted me like about that.
I think I did text you because I actually kind of felt bad for Phil too because like we did this trade and the whole trade was basically
He had to get
contingent
rid
on
of
he
somebody.
needs to get rid of somebody so he can put his IR guys back in for Sunday. And
Hmm.
I was like, This trade is so
Yeah,
stupid. Like, no one can honestly care about this. Like, where's Brian at? He needs to push this fucking thing through.
When was it supposed to
yeah.
go through?
It wouldn't have
Takes
gone
like
through till
days.
like Tuesday or something because
Oh,
it was like a Saturday evening, and yeah, it was a Saturday evening trade.
because I remember that one time that you and I were on a podcast talking about a trade and like wondering when it was going to go through, and then like it
Yeah,
was
that was a
our
Thursday. That was a Thursday trade, and we were like, okay, it's going to go through on its own anyways
anyway. Okay, right,
before the games are on
right,
Sunday. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So anyway, okay, yeah, interesting league that we have. Um, I hope everybody is fucking playing along and enjoying because this one definitely is probably the loosest podcast I think that we
I kind of
done.
like the off the rails, just go with
I do
wherever.
too.
Like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
We haven't done one in a while. We only got 3 weeks left in the year. Fuck it.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe we're coming up that soon. Now, when is are we saying that is it next week that is a trade deadline or do we even have one?
We
We
do
already
have
put the
one.
Pirates. What do you mean?
I like that Brian's the one asking.
Because dude,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember what we set this for. That was
It's
a long time ago.
week
It
14
is.
is the
It's right
trade
before. It's
deadline.
before the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's the
so.
week
Yeah,
before the
Oh,
playoffs. Yeah.
I feel like
So we've
that
got
sounds right.
time. We're in week 12 right
Week
now, so
12.
there's
Yeah,
still
no,
time.
it's.
There's still time to make some trades.
I mean, it's gonna be a kind of
yeah.
a crazy like fallout for the end of the year. So, are we bold enough to put up like some predictions?
God.
I
I
think
mean,
we're bold
I'm
enough,
always,
but
yeah, I think we're always bold enough. Are we stupid enough? Yes, also probably.
Okay. All right. So, bold prediction. Do we believe Will has it in him to make it?
oof, I want to know what the Sports Center PPR probability rate is.
Hmm.
Next gen
Right.
stats.
Next gen
Yeah.
stats.
I bet if like last week it was at like 2% and this week it's at like 15% or something like that, you
Yeah.
know?
I think he's slowly climbing on up, and I don't know. Like Nick, you said that you're
I'll
looking
put
at
it this way.
schedules.
I'll put it this way real quick. I would put $5 down on those, whatever the odds are, because I feel like I could probably win like $300, for my $5 bet.
Okay, fair enough. You think it's a safe bet, even if you're totally off. It's okay.
Yeah, I think like it's possible enough that I would throw some money down, but the odds are going to be pretty fucking high to where that would pay off pretty big, but it's going to be a tough bet. But yeah, man, I mean, I do think his team looks pretty fucking good right now. Like
Hmm.
uh David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Tyreek
Dude,
Hill has his quarterback
Joe
back.
Mixon. So
Oh my god.
if Saquon was not kicking ass like Saquon is kicking ass, I would say that Joe Mixon was like the free agent signing of the year.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, Joe Mixon missed 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 if he got injured in that Chicago game in week 2, and he's still the RB7 right now.
Dude, he looks phenomenal. Like I cannot believe how good. Like I was never been a Joe Mixon believer, but he always put up the points, and it's like it's really hard for me to argue with the points. But
Yeah, this has been a revelation year for Joe
yeah,
Mixon.
this is just where like I was wrong. I was wrong about Joe Mixon. I apologize, Joe Mixon. You are fucking studly, and obviously putting up numbers no matter where you go. So that's a big deal. Saquon looks
Yeah.
incredible. Like, so I would say he probably is the free agent signing. Derrick Henry, you could make an argument for because he's been fucking.
So
Yeah,
who's
that's
what's the
amazing.
redraft of the top five backs right as of today, November 20th?
If we were to put him in an order,
Yeah. Give me the top five. Who would you
I
Well,
want?
that are not just the top 5 scorers this year.
well, I don't know if
Just
it's
if we redrafted today,
Okay, if we were
who's
redrafted today,
I kind of want to know
yeah.
who the top scorers are actually.
okay,
Um,
it's Saquon, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Bijan, and Jameer Gibbs. And then 1.5 points behind Gibbs is Joe Mixon.
And Joe Mixon missed like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. So
so
that's
is it?
where, well, oof, yeah, I feel like I probably would have to put Joe Mixon into that top 5 redraft right there. Just the way things are looking. Like I'd much rather have him than Jahmyr Gibbs, I would say right now, for sure.
I agree. Yeah.
I would rather have Joe Mixon than Kamara right now too.
I would put Joe Mixon probably at 3. I
Would
would
you
still
put
rather
would
have
you put
Saquon and Derek.
would you put him above Bijan?
Yeah.
I think I would too.
Their offense is more potent. I believe more in the Texan offense.
I still might put Achan within that top 5,
So
honestly.
Achan, I think so. He only okay. He didn't actually miss any time,
It's
but I'm
not that
pretty
he
sure
missed
he was
time, but
there.
the quarterback, that not having
Yeah,
Tua for like 4 weeks was just a fucking blow.
huge blow. But
He's
they
like
Like
have
you
too
can
pretty
much of a
see that.
timeshare there. That's why I don't like it.
yeah. It
Too
But
is a
many
look what
timeshare.
he's
teams.
done. But look what he's done in the last 4 weeks: 30.7, 36.6, then an 11, but then a 23.5.
I know.
And dude, Mostert isn't a fucking anywhere close to what he was last
Yeah,
year.
I feel like they're kind of phasing out Mostert at this
Yeah.
point.
But
So
Wright is getting carries, which is not good.
yeah. So I really like Achan or A-Chain, whatever we want to call him.
Do you like Achan more than Kyren Williams?
Yes, I do.
Do you like him more than James Cook?
Ooh. That's a really good question. I actually think James Cook is like a safer play, but I don't think James Cook can get anywhere near as high as the ceiling that Achan would have, right? Like, I don't know. Like, let me look at Achan's numbers really quick
What
again.
about you, Sean? Achan or Cook?
I would take Achan, to be honest. I
I
think
think Achan has a
I
higher
like
chance of getting you higher points because he's much more in the. So this is
the
the thing about H.
reception, the
Yes,
receiving.
that's the huge part. Is that eight is Cook is a fucking beast. Like
He's a touchdown
that's what
dependent
he needs.
machine.
He needs those touchdowns. Like honestly, if he's not getting them or Josh Allen is stealing that shit away, like dude, James Cook's gonna have a bad game. Like Achan, I feel like can make up, just like Sean said, like he can make up for it because he does get, um, like a lot of those receptions. Like
Do
he
you
doesn't.
okay? What about do you want Gibbs or Achan?
I don't know about Gibbs. I need to like do Gibbs numbers look great. I've never really watched a Detroit game like all the way through to kind of like be paying attention to specifically to Jahmyr Gibbs to really have a decision. I feel like right now
Oh
since
wait, here's dude. Sorry, I just completely cut you off. Go,
yeah,
just keep going. My bad,
I
my
don't
bad.
even know what I was saying. I burnt like
You
right in the
can't do
middle of
that,
it.
Fucking
Sean.
hell. It was about Jahmyr Gibbs and you
Well,
weren't
yeah,
sure about him.
no, yeah. It just right now I would have to say Achan over Gibbs because I haven't really watched Gibbs enough. The numbers look great, but like, yeah, right now I would
But
just,
there is one guy that we aren't even talking about if we're talking about redraft for next year, if everything
Yeah,
goes how it is right now, and that's Christian McCaffrey.
dude, Christian
that's true.
McCaffrey. Like, so let me ask you guys, like, what? Oh God, I can't even find him.
Sorry, Sean, but the 49ers are going the wrong direction. So
I
I'm
know
rooting
they
for
are,
you.
but they're just the injuries are just ravaging the team.
Yeah, but I think what's his McCaffrey has like tendonitis or something, which is bad.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know enough about that injury. If it's like, hey, this is just something you're going to deal with for the rest of your career, or
I
is
think,
it like it
I think,
shakes away at some point? I don't know.
so I don't know. I can't answer either of those points, but I will say this: I do think that, um, if we were to redraft, McCaffrey would fall out of the top five.
Well,
I
I guess
agree.
if you say that right now at this moment, I think you're right. But what if McCaffrey just has an amazing or even like extremely solid rest of the season where he's getting like, 20 plus each week? And
Then
are you tempted to be like, fuck, maybe he's back?
I no, I'm not tempted to say that he's back. I'm tempted to say that he might not completely fall out of top five, but I am confident to say that he is no longer the for sure number one selection. Like even if he has a great rest of the year, I think maybe people are going to be fishy. I think there are,
They're mad. Yeah, he missed so much of the season that
dude. He
Yeah.
that
missed
is a
an entire
huge
half of the season.
red flag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you look at like the Saquon, Derrick Henry, and maybe
People
anybody else
want
there, it's
people want
hard to say
certainty.
that McCaffrey is somehow just going to overtake them as the number one, but I don't know. It's just he's that guy. He's just
I,
been that guy for a
I,
couple of
I
years
I will
now.
say this
So
right
long.
now. Like McCaffrey has always proven to be pretty consistent. One of the other things he's got going for him is he is a pass catching running back. Like
Yep.
I mean, in a PPR format, that's always going to be incredibly valuable. So I don't think he's never going to be like drafted again, or he's going to completely like fall off the radar. I just don't think. I think like Nick said, either people are angry or the trust is lost. Like I
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
think
I mean,
he's
and
like that.
we're only we're 2 weeks back into him being even playing this year, so
Yeah.
that is 100% where we're at. Everybody's like, what do we even have with McCaffrey right now? I have no fucking idea, to be honest. But
Well, I'm
it'll
going to
just
be
be interesting to see what happens in the next 6 weeks or however long, the actual NFL season goes on with the Niners playing
well
is.
right now. Me,
Yeah.
I'm anticipating losing because Phil's got his full lineup back. He's got McCaffrey back. He's got Nico Collins back. Like I think McCaffrey is going to be fine as a starter. Like Nick was saying, I don't know what's going to happen with the 49ers. It's not looking great, but
Yeah.
I think that division is still really competitive. So um, I think all the teams are going to be really, like the. I don't feel like
It's a
there's
lot to play for.
right, exactly. I don't feel like there's going to be a big drop off. I feel like they should still be playing. It's not like anybody's completely out of it, so people are going to be
No.
benched or not, not finishing games or whatever. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Like I don't even know.
Definitely.
So if you guys were to say who your top five wideouts were going to be if we redrafted, what would you say?
Ooh, that is tough. God damn.
I'm gonna
It's
take a
crazy.
sneak peek. I think Jamar's
It's
gonna go number
dude,
one no
I
matter
think you're
he's
what.
right. I think
so
you're right.
fucking far
Yeah.
ahead of
Yeah,
everybody,
I
like
think
by
it's.
Yeah.
75 points ahead of number two right now. It's just
I think
nuts.
he probably might have
Nice.
earned himself. Like he might have stolen Justin Jefferson's spot. I think with this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Especially
the
because they're gonna
quarterback situation
well,
for
they gotta pay
Jefferson.
him next year too. Or actually no, next year is his last
It's
year
his last year.
on his deal.
If they don't
Yeah.
pay him, then dude, he's walking, and he's gonna get a
Well,
monster paycheck from somebody.
that's why
So do you
T's
think that,
walking.
yeah, but do you think so, like the T Higgins situation, I feel like T has to play out of his mind to get the biggest bag that he can. Does that
He's
mean the
got
same thing
he's
for
got a
Jefferson next year, that he has to play his best to get the biggest bag he can get? Like, is that good for him in
no
fantasy?
So
Chase has already got the biggest bag. He's gonna get it no matter
he's
what.
going. Yeah.
And so
So
then T wants the biggest bag also,
he's
but
not
he
getting
can't
it.
they can't do that with the same team, so they're gonna lose him.
But
My
T
bad.
Higgins is
Yeah,
not getting.
I was thinking about Jefferson, but you guys talking about Jamar as the other one. That makes way more sense. Yeah,
Yeah. As
Jefferson already got the biggest bag. He
he
has
did.
got the
He
biggest
just
bag
he
right
did get
now.
the bag already.
yeah. So
Yep.
he'll
Yeah.
be. So where I feel is like once those players get that bag, I feel it's like almost a guarantee their performance is going to dive. Like I don't feel I've ever seen where a player signs a major paycheck, maybe
Amon
besides
signed last year.
who, Amon,
Yeah. He's been pretty consistent guy.
I guess.
But he's not the same kind of player as Chase. Like he's more of a
I'm talking, yeah.
target
So we're
kind of
talking about
person.
like premier premium, top of the crop. Like yeah, Jamar
Yeah.
Chase is definitely number one. Do you say Justin Jefferson only falls to two, or do you think he goes farther down?
I would I would say he's I would say he goes after Amon Ra, honestly, because the Lions have a better offense. So, they'll get more for Amon Ra, even though Jefferson's a better wide receiver.
So you go Chase, St. Brown, uh,
Jefferson.
Jefferson. Who'd you put it for?
Yeah. Um, well, it's CD is a great wide receiver, but it's too
That's
certain
interesting.
there. So you can. I don't think he's going to go 4 because Dak's coming off a huge injury, so you can't.
Is
You're like
CD?
taking a
Do you think
gamble
CD
there.
is gonna? Is CD? Wait, who on the Cowboys is still needing to get paid?
Who?
I don't
Uh,
know.
Is it
nope.
CD? Is CD one of them?
Is there
No, he
anybody
got
else
paid.
that
He got
should be
paid this
paid on the
year.
He
Cowboys?
got paid this year. CD
He
did.
did get paid,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. I thought
yeah.
it was like I thought there were still like players that need to be paid or
They
need to be
paid
signed.
Dak and CD this year.
Okay, so those
And that's why
so
they should have got Henry because they paid him right before week 1. And if they
mhm.
just would have paid him earlier, they could have used their money to target somebody else. But nobody knew what they were going to get. And I think that's the slack that they were taking.
Well, everybody's given Dallas so much shit this year. Probably
They
deservedly so.
suck. They stink.
They
Yeah.
do. They really
They
do.
haven't won a home game this year.
No, I've heard that they haven't won a home game. Like it's all the home games this year plus last year's playoff game.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Really bad.
Well,
Yeah, and so you can't put Godwin there either because he's coming off an injury.
I
He
would.
would
I
have
don't
Yeah,
think
been
I
there's
don't
been
think I
so
better.
would.
many injuries to wide receivers this
I don't
year.
even know who if I would put Godwin. So let me go. Let's go to the
I mean, you got
season.
like Tyreek Hill is the fucking wide receiver 21 right now.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Neighbors would be good if he had a good quarterback. Nico
Right.
probably for
so
Collins.
what do you
Yeah,
guys think?
maybe Nico. You can throw Nico in there potentially. I
Ni-
mean,
Nico.
I don't know that you'd put AJ Brown in the top 5, but he's like at least
Why
probably in the
is
top
why
10.
is AJ
Oh,
Brown? Where is
definitely.
AJ Brown?
He's number 49 because he has missed so many games this
How many
year.
games has he missed? Oh shit, one,
One,
two,
two,
three,
three,
He's
and then his
number
four.
bye week.
49. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's low, I would say. That's way too low. So here's a question. Would you put Garrett Wilson in that top 5? I know he is right now, but would you put him in the top 5?
No, because I don't
No,
know what their
they're not going
quarterback
to have
situation is
Rodgers.
going to be like.
Yeah, Rodgers ain't coming back.
What, after this year?
I don't think so.
Is
Yeah,
that the end of his contract?
I think so. He might have one more year left, but
Are you talking
even
about Aaron
so,
Rodgers?
yeah.
Yeah, there was some like news or reports that came out today that they're looking to find ways to part way with him for 2025.
Oh
That
my
the Jets
God.
are looking to part ways with him.
Oh, he's done.
Like the experiment's over. Like
Yeah,
the
he's
Yeah.
done.
whatever coach was in there that was like buddy buddy with him that like was like, oh, Aaron, whoever you want, okay, yeah, Devonte Adams, sure, we'll get him. Like kind of, and like that guy just got fired
Yeah.
recently, and
Well, I know,
so
and
it's
they
like,
fired the general manager this week?
so maybe that's what it was, the general
Well,
manager.
because they already fired the coach.
No, yeah, it wasn't the coach, not Sala, but yeah, the general manager. They
Yeah.
got rid of him, and I think he was like buddy buddy with Aaron Rodgers, and it's kind of now they're saying like they're actively looking to find ways to maybe part ways next year.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you guys were to do it, you do very similar to the way it's ranked right now. So Chase,
Yeah.
St. Brown, Jefferson. Are you guys putting CD at 4?
No, I put Nico at 4.
Nico at
I
4?
could see.
Sean, what
Yeah,
about you?
I could definitely see Nico in there 100%. I agree with that.
Okay. Where are you guys putting Garrett Wilson? He's dropping?
There's a
He's
lot of wide
dropping.
receiver
Okay.
twos, like high-end wide receiver twos. I
All
would
right,
say he would be there
so
with
I have
London.
all right, here are a couple others, and this is interesting because I feel like these are both kind of intriguing quarterback situations. Scary Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he's another 2, a high-end 2,
Okay.
somewhere there.
Drake London.
He's there also. I maybe above.
I'd rather have. I feel like I'd rather have like a Puka Nakua than Drake London.
Puka is fighting with
Cup.
targets with Cup, though. That's the
I
only
know, but
thing.
man, I don't know. Just if
Yeah,
like
he's
I
a
know
beast.
health is always an issue, but if everything stays the way it is right now, I love a Puka versus a Drake London. I don't know. I don't know if this Drake London situation with Kirk Cousins, like I
I'll
don't
tell
know
you,
how
I
much
dude, let me tell
he's
you,
been
I've
awesome.
been loving it. I have been
I know.
loving it
You
this
know,
year.
you've seen it more than anybody.
Well, dude, so that was my bet. That was one of my bets that I made in my draft. I was just like, God, Kirk Cousins is one of those quarterbacks that it's like I don't think he's anywhere like he's not a top 5 quarterback. He's not great, but he does put up a good offense and like players, wide receivers, like they've looked good with him. They get wide receivers get paid like when Kirk
It's true.
Cousins is throwing to him. So it's like fuck, he's got to like do that. And I know like they got Drake London with like a high draft pick, but dude, it's been Atlanta. Their quarterback situation has been fucking garbage. Like this is definitely the biggest upgrade that they've had. And then they got that other guy in the wings. What's his name? Penix, the
Oh yeah.
quarterback that they drafted, and everybody gave him a whole bunch of shit for drafting a like a top 10 quarterback or whatever
Oh, right.
when they were already signed Kirk Cousins to like a big deal. But I don't know, dude. I think with what I've seen this year, I think only another year, another off season with the same quarterback, and eventually you're gonna have like, dude. I think Drake London could be a top. I would say he'll be a top 10 wideout for the next
I
few
could see,
years.
yeah, I agree, top 10. Then you got a guy like I don't know, like Rasheed Rice when he comes back.
Dude,
Like I people
he
might
looked
be a little scared, but
scary. Dude, he looked scary when he was in.
Yeah, he
I
looked
was
good.
I was really mad when Joey got him in the draft because I was like, oh, I got Patrick Mahomes. This is gonna be fucking awesome because I know Rasheed Rice is gonna be good. Yeah, he was. But now it's so crazy that they have fucking DeAndre. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
crazy. It's so weird.
true.
He looks old though, but
He
he
does
still
look
looks.
old, but dude, that doesn't matter. It's like as like he's on the perfect type of offense for the player he is. Like I wouldn't say that he would be like a top 1 or 2 wideout, but you could put him in a flex spot and be super happy with that.
Yeah. Would you rather have a Hopkins or a Zay Flowers?
Say Flowers. Right now, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like I
I
don't know
agree.
who else Lamar is going to throw. If Lamar is going to throw, it seems like he's just throwing it to Zay Flowers.
He's
Yeah,
pretty dynamic too. He makes big plays.
Like so, what's his name?
he's not a one though. He's definitely a high two
Yeah,
or a
he's a
two.
2. He's a
Yeah,
high
yeah.
2. He's a high 2. But
Yeah.
like
He'll have some bum weeks in there.
so. Wait, Nick,
He-
who is that other wideout that the Ravens ended up getting? Was it Deontay Johnson?
Deontay Johnson.
Has he
Yeah.
done
He's like
anything?
no, because we put him in there and he slipped a bunch and then he complained on social media. And so we're like, fuck that guy. So he's like behind Bateman, basically.
Jesus! Oh my God,
That's
bro,
Yeah.
tough.
that's
It's
so
pointless.
shitty.
The times that he was in there, he threw it to him and he either fell down or he didn't catch the ball. And it was, I guess, against the Bengals, like his first team. And it was
Oh,
risky. So Bateman's been coming through more. And it's like, yeah, it's definitely a Zay Flowers show. Is the only guy that I feel like you can trust, really.
damn.
And
Yeah.
even that, he has got some low games because sometimes they just don't throw much for
Or
whatever reason.
he spreads it around a ton.
So I feel like we really
Yeah,
were only able to agree on like maybe a top 4, like Chase, St. Brown,
Yeah.
Jefferson, and everybody's putting Collins at 4. So does Lamb, does he just solidify 5 and that's what we still have?
Lamb Hill, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel
Hill,
like
dude. Oh my God. How
Yeah,
are we not
Lamb
talking
Hill,
about
Drake
Tyreek
London.
Hill?
But it's tough because like they're saying Tyreek Hill is gonna have some kind of wrist surgery after the season's over. So it's just like I don't know what to make of it's always nerve wracking if someone's having a procedure and
Dude,
then you have to take
so
the shot that they'll be totally fine after that.
so here's another
Yeah.
thing to keep in mind. Tyreek is 30 years old. He's 5'10", like what, 8
Yeah.
years in the league and everything. Like that guy's getting old. He's getting
Right. He's
old.
no Malik Neighbors.
No.
I know
No Marvin Harrison Jr.
exactly. Yeah.
And like those players are going to be kind of interesting. Like I don't know what's going to happen with the Giants. Like they've been looking for a goddamn quarterback for years now. So maybe they might eventually like find one or sign one. Um, but dude, Marvin Harrison, I feel like, you know, Kyler Murray I feel like he could help Marvin Harrison put up decent fantasy numbers.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of put him in that 2 category as well. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. He's missed a lot of balls that have been thrown. He's a lot of dropped passes. Like I don't know. He doesn't strike. He definitely seems like he has a ton of potential if he puts it all together and like all the pieces fit. But
Hmm.
I like all the other guys a lot better. The ones that we've been
Yeah.
saying so far.
Interesting, man.
But well, guys, I gotta go have dinner. I don't know where you
Yeah,
guys
no,
are
no,
at, but
dude, we've already been on for like an hour and 20 plus minutes. Like we've had no fucking order. We really haven't been talking about anybody's
I
like
love
week
it.
previews. It's just been
Now,
fucking
fuck
wild
it.
and
We're too
crazy.
deep. We're too deep to have all these. We're like, there's the stakes are so high for all of us. We're all biased right now, but this is a really fun conversation,
It's
though.
probably going to be a perfect name for the podcast for this week. High stakes and off the rails.
Yes, I like
Perfect.
it.
Yeah, it is perfect. Well, and I will say thank you for Nick for stopping on by and coming on and talking to us and all of our Remember the Titans references. Those are always awesome. I feel like the one we need to always do is getting together in the huddle and look at each other and be like, okay, I don't want them to gain another yard. Oh, best
Fights
fucking
all
speech
night.
ever. All night. Uh, Oh man, but anyway, yeah, good talking to you, Sean, and thank you all for stopping on by. And I guess we will hopefully catch you next time.
Hell yeah! Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Peace.